So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Now Hardy on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's airing it out for Sanu. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this down deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 57 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta 1st down. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. To return, it's Peppers. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
23 yards on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Taylor finding his volume receiver Landry for a big one. 44 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try to sneak with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Tyrod Taylor taking it in. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Young guy. Ready, stay in 280.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On 3rd down. That's Coleman, and he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ryan now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, wait.
So the false start will back them up 5. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A full start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Left. Down. 11. 12. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Ryan to throw. Buying time to his left. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Let's go. Hey, Tuesday. Hey, space. 11.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Coleman now. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They will run again with Coleman. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice, Matt Bryant now. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice, Matt Bryant now. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really great play defensively.
Gun!
First throw in overtime now for Ryan. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line. And after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Here's Matt Bosher now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fielded at the 43. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. First throw in overtime now for Taylor. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah!
On 2nd down, Taylor. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here in OT. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This a 33-yard attempt. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So it was the defense that jumped, and that'll move them 5 yards closer.
I wonder how they did it. What if they twitched a little bit up front, a little subtle head movement that the officials didn't detect, but they got it done. Now they're 5 yards closer for their field goal attempt.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime.